We'll have it recorded always. Just like us.
Just come up in my room.
Do a cold start.
The cold start?
A cold start. Everyone loves a cold start.
I don't think they will the intro. I think they're gonna be like, you guys, you f***s haven't been around for like, how long has it been? No, we started up again, but like, how long since that? When did it end? When was our last like real? When did we talk about jazz hands for the 17th?
I bought this thing's a terabyte with cellular.
Wow.
So I can leave my laptop at home.
Do you know much about buying computers? I want to buy one, but I don't know dick, and I don't feel like doing the research. I understand building your own is more but I also don't want to put my time into it.
I'm the same way. I just buy pre-built. I bought HP Omen, which is like.
Is that before or after these coin cucks made the like everything of a computer expensive?
Is everything expensive because they keep crypto mining everything? You're like,
yes.
Oh yeah, the RTX used to be $1,000, now it's $7,000. Ooh.
Yeah.
The price is coming down, thankfully, probably within the year or so.
Because I was originally gonna like just throw you like $2,000 and just be like, hey, I want to make cool shit with you. Let's make cool shit. Here's the funds. I know you're like looking at equipment porn. Just be like, ooh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
There's normal porn, but you know, sometimes the equipment's in there. Sometimes the microphone, the boomstick comes into the frame. I'm like, oh, that's a Sennheiser. I think they only made 13 of those. But pre-builts. I could just give you HP Omen and I'll give you the best one. What's the name? Who do I hate? What tech company do I hate? Intel. That's what I hate.
I would assume.
So if you find something, you try going with AMD, because Intel is just garbage. They're stagnant. They're like, hell yes, we keep making great products. They're like, essentially, the chips they make are 14 nanometers, which was like the base. I can barely comprehend it myself, but it's like 14 was like the cool thing like 10 years ago, and they just kept using it. And then AMD and now Apple's like, yeah, we got it down to like 5 now.
What's the whole thing about getting it smaller? Because so Apple, well, also my big fat ass fucking bent my phone, and I don't have a thin phone. I just have the Google Pixel, which is a moderately thick phone comparatively to like any Apple phone nowadays. And I don't understand like the thinness. I'll carry around a like 1972 like Dell computer if it runs fast and is reliable. I don't care that it's extra small. Well, do you know how many I lose so many small things.
From what I can read about it, 'cause it's hard to understand for me, but it allows it's more closer together, and so more things can talk faster, which is a little mind-blowing to me, because I mean computers already like screaming fast, so shrinking it I don't think would make a difference, but apparently it makes like a load of difference. It's like a huge performance increase all across the board. And
my internet searches are very slow. I'm very old man.
I hear it.
The way the way I Google search shit is I'll Google it 4 times using just different synonyms, and I'm like, that's the one. And I'll after clicking through 9 virus-filled websites, I'll be like, that's the information I wanted.
That's what I needed. Confirmation bias.
Pretty much.
It
all started when I was maybe a little too young. But I got my first iPod, and I was worried my parents would figure out how I searched shit up, so I just search up pee, hoping that eventually pussy would show up. I would scroll for hours.
Like the Wikipedia game. Pee.
World War One. Pussy there. Okay.
Pussy. Got 10 minutes on the board.
I just have the word pussy and like different times, and my mom's like walks in.
It's like, wow, you're being educational. 1830s pussy. God damn it. Yeah, Mom. History class, Mr.
I remember that like the draft in my house like close the door. Like when like a giraffe like pulls out air and your doors close sometimes. That happened while I was like looking up like boobs, like as a younger man, and I remember like thinking it was like a parent, and I walked up to one of my parents and I was just like, I know one of you guys thought I was doing something I wasn't supposed to, and I wasn't. And my parents were like, like they
okay, cool.
Yeah, my growing boy is looking at boobs on the internet. Oh, surprising.
Why is your face all red? I'm angry. This program wouldn't work. Yeah, I understand. This program's gonna be hard sometimes. I'm like, yeah.
I used to love reading, like, you've read scenarios like my life sucks, like on like a forum or a board or even like Twitter or like somewhere where any person that likes to lie on the internet will post a story, and it's fake because it's like, the one that comes to mind for me is there's like a kid that's like, I got caught masturbating, and it's like my dad walked in and I had porn coming on, like porn on my 3 monitors, so I'm trying to close them all out, and my deodorant that was on my table, by the way, fell off, hit my dick, it went in, the piece of the deodorant went in my dick, and it's stinging, and describing like a Rube Goldberg of events of like him getting deodorant stuck in his dick and then asking for advice, which it might as well just have been like either just an elaborate lie that why are you feeling the need to like come up with that, like, but like also like you could just be like, it's the internet, you could just be like, I was being mindless, I stuck something in my dick, I need help. Like I think it was like at WebMD or something like that.
There was I think I might be thinking of the same one, but there's like a little kid, and he's like, no, I wasn't watching porn. I wasn't. A virus came onto my computer, and I was trying to grab my mouse, but then my pants fell down. I wasn't watching porn.
No, that's a completely different one, but I love that.
Oh my god, it's just kids are stupid.
It's really cringy, like watching like people grow up. Like I have a lot of relatives and stuff like that, big Irish family. And, like, I'm, like, all of the kids that, like, that I'm watching grow up in my family are now in that phase of their life where they're just not talking about any of the shit we're talking about right now, but they're just lying. They'll be like, my friend is making a Lego animated movie. Oh, really? Oh, really? Because I know what goes into that. Like I would obviously not telling him that, but I'm like, that's awesome, dude. But, like, in actuality, I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And I know for a fact that I'm like getting like flashbacks of all the lies I spewed as a kid, and I'm like, oh my god, everyone knew I was lying. Oh no.
God, those lying moments, I had those too. I can't recall any, but I do know they're there. And then you think back and you're like, why did they play along? Why can't you just be like, you're lying?
I will, as an adult too. Like I know adult liars. I've worked with adult liars. I think adult liars scare me more than kids, because kids it's a phase. Adults it's like weird because it's like, oh, you're socially inept to the point where you don't realize. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew a guy in his like 40s or 50s, and he's bragging about how he has 3 Jeeps. That's not that crazy of a lie. Like, okay, cool. Like, you got 3 Jeeps. Some people are Jeep guys. Some people collect cars. I know adults have 6 cars. It's completely within reason for you to have 3 cars. I'm not doubting you yet. And then, like, I'm still working with him, and a guy overhears him and goes, oh, I love Jeeps. Actually, can I come over? I'm having a problem with mine. Yours are all up and running. I just need to know what a stock motor looks like, or stock, I don't know. I'm not a car guy. Just asking to look at his cars. He goes, actually, I just sold them. Oh, which one? All 3. Like, right now. I'm like, okay. Like, that was, like, my first red flag. I'm The guy told me he had a yacht. I don't think he realizes how much yachts cost. Like, I know people that are rich, like their parents own big like companies, and they'll get money in the future, like enough that they won't have to work again, and their parents don't have yachts. Boats are just inherently like, think of a number of what you think like a mansion costs, double it, and that's a yacht. Like,
it was like middle school, so it's that kind of lying phase, but it shouldn't be. And this guy's like, yeah, my dad works for Apple. He made the camera for the iPad Nano. I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, I also have a Hummer. I don't have it with me though. It's in the shop. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I know he's lying. And he's like, I'm also in the Army too. I'm like, it's not the one we know about.
Okay, I was about to say, like,
I know him.
We both have a friend that's a very common lie, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but it was 3 people. They're like, yeah, we went to Russia and we banged some broads. It was great. And they're like all like somehow hive-minding together the scenario. Like, yeah, we were in back of a AC-130. You know, we're going to Russia. Top secret. I shouldn't even be telling you guys. I could be assassinated.
With the law of numbers, or whatever you want to call it, there's one kid that told that story, and he was, like, saying the truth.
Yeah.
It's like, I banged so many strippers, and I'm in the Russian military, and then, like, you know...
Yeah, sure, kid. Then the next month, he's in Russia crying. He's like, they don't believe me. It's all right, honey. I love you. He's like...
The Splinter Cell agent that's working at the middle schools, like speaking in Russian. It's just like, we gotta kill him. God damn it. We lost another 13-year-old. They can't stop telling the truth.
They can't stop. God, it blows my mind the lengths they go to like keep up the lie. And there was one time where I found an SD card, and one guy's like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll give it to the teacher. I'm like, okay, here you go. And then the next day, the teacher's like, does anyone see an SD card? I'm like, oh yeah, he said he was gonna give it to you. And he goes, I never took an SD card. I'm like, yeah, you did. I handed it to you. He's like, no, you did. I'm like, yeah, you did. I handed it to you. He's like, no. He's like, sorry, teacher, I don't have it. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, oh my god.
I love when those people get away with it too. Like it.
Yes.
I don't have many good like talents, but I could read people pretty well. I like even as an adult, like I'll meet somebody and I'll be like, I don't like them. I could tell that X, Y, and Z, like they're lying or they're doing something shady, and then like those same personalities are also very attractive. Like they'll be very charismatic or something, and I'll just have to sit on my hands and just be like, yeah, John's great. He's a good dude, and then like I'll just wait for the first person to be like, John's such an asshole. He did this, that, and the other thing. Like I know, like yeah. Yeah,
I had that at my previous job. There was a guy. Oh my god, he is fucking crazy. He mutilates his face. He's like,
excuse me.
He takes a knife and he just like essentially picks out the hair follicle out of his face. Like I don't know how long.
Laser surgery is so cheap. I knew a guy that lived in like squalor. That's just like, yeah, I hate hair on my legs. I just get it done every week.
But like you can see like the scarring on his face.
It's like all pitted.
It's all pitted, and it's. Can you take it?
No, it's just a phone call. I'm gonna hit him with the can't talk now. What's up?
Can't talk, Dad.
Can't talk, Dad. It's been 15 years.
But like, it's just he just mutilates his face, and he told us too, and he was so crazy to the point where
is it like fresh too? Like you see it like fresh.
Sometimes it was like fresh, but like he must have done this for like 10 or so years. Because like,
have you ever thought that like maybe he just has like horrible acne? Be fibbing about it?
No, because he's crazy. We used to get paid on Fridays, every 2 Fridays. He spent his check the moment it hit his bank account at the casino. And then there was one time when he did that, he blamed one of my friends. He's like, you should have stopped me. I spent my entire check and lost it at the casino. This is your fault. We're like, what do you mean? He's like, I can't pay bills. We're like, you idiot. This is on you. Like, the check comes in at like 1:59 a.m. and you're just at the casino. He's like,
I don't know, man. People like that are odd. Like that you're describing like first part, yeah, that's a crazy person. Second part, that's just an addict.
It's
I would not say I'm in any way an addict, but for sure I have a very addictive personality. Because like if I can get into a routine, I'll just stay in it. Like I'll be like, oh, cigar day, okay, cool, and I'll just stay in my lane. It doesn't get worse, it doesn't get better, but I say it stays.
mm-hmm.
And during quarantine, when we were all quarantining, I was just drinking every day. I was just like, I'm bored. And I'd just like bring home a 6-pack and just plow through it. And then just be like, I'm going to listen to World War I podcasts. Like my friends would call me up and I'd just be trashed, lecturing them. They don't care. And then like after a while, I'm just like, I got to take a break.
What I did during quarantine was just play VR, lots of it. I wasted my fucking quarantine. I'm like, if I'm gonna be locked in, I'm gonna like learn how to code. And I spent like a day looking at a book, haha, yeah. And then everything just fell apart. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go into VR. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, no, what? I'm gonna join everyone in VR. I'm gonna get drunk. So I slammed down one White Claw, and then I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then like a week goes by, I'm slamming 2 White Claws every night. I'm like, okay. And then there was like one night, I'm like, know what? I'm going all out. I'm gonna do 9 in under an hour.
Do you puke?
Yeah, I puked. I'm like after a while.
Carbonation, man. That's good. That's the part that kills you.
I was like crying. I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm just
live on Twitch.
Live on Twitch. Hey everyone, I'm really drunk. Sorry. That happens a lot now.
I saw the best Twitch highlight. It was just a dude that was sleeping. He's recording himself sleeping on Twitch.
Those were popular.
And it was a dude, and it's just he had the thing where it's and it's like this person donated $1, and it'd say something, but instead it was just Alexa, what is my current location?
Yeah, and
he wakes up going screaming, no.
I've seen so many of those. They get so popular because people are like, "What's my address? Where am I located? What's my phone number? Call mom." They're like, oh, "No, stop." The insane amount of donations they get from it, though, is the...
Yeah, I feel I don't know.
People, playing, Windows breaking sound effects. Just, someone's breaking, they're like, oh, it's someone donated. Okay, and they go back to bed. And they, let them rest for, 10 minutes, and then, gunshots, oh, okay. And they go back to bed. They just torture them. I've seen some guys, I didn't get any sleep. You guys kept me awake. And
IRL streaming dudes are crazy.
There's people who are going grocery shopping and they have the Twitch alerts out loud and they just play horrendous stuff and go, oh sorry, they put the item back and it's the music is just horrendously racist and just vulgar and
plus the internet. You got but I feel also it's one of those things where you're purposely pretending to not invite it.
Yeah, it attracts money for them, but at the same time, it's
you're
just
dancing with the devil and getting banned off of Twitch,
and potentially being beaten up.
Oh my god, yeah!
For just, I'm pretty sure there was one that was bomb planted. He's "Fuck, I gotta go."
Well, the biggest one is oh, thanks for the $20 is a robbery, and everyone's what? There's so many of them.
There's so many. There is so good, but I just feel bad for the people not understanding what this weird voice is coming from.
You're putting monetary value on your privacy and on your free time, and I don't think I would ever want to do that.
I would
rather work in a gas station than just be oh damn, I have 5 free minutes. Time to hop on Twitch for that crisp $30. And then when you come down with I don't know, colon cancer at 50, you're hey guys,
being plugged into the machine at the hospital. Hey guys, beep 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 beep. I'll give you $50 to unplug it. Beep. Okay. Beep beep. The nurse, oh my god, what's going on? They gave me $50. Plug it back in.
No. He'll take it back.
He'll do a chargeback. Stop.
Twitch streaming for me is for like personal, like it's just like, oh, I got like 50 friends I want to hang out with, but like I want 3 of us to actually do the thing and the other ones just meme around. That's perfect. Like 151 strangers. Yeah, sure. I'm like, well, yeah, let's do this with my whole family living here. I hope no one in the background says anything case sensitive that could dox me forever. Like, I hope no one in this 300-person stream wishes it will against me with no repercussions whatsoever. Like, it's just oogly boogly. I don't like it.
That's streaming with like a family is awful because you're having fun. They're like, hey, the pizza guy wants to know our address. Here's our address just in case you forgot when living here for 20-some years. And you're like, stop. There's 3 people here. One of them might be malicious. They're like, oh, that's our address. Okay. I'm like, oh, that was fun, guys. See you later. Gotta hang up now. And delete everything.
If you're a big Twitch streamer, like, you've had shit, like, get out just by accident, and it's just, like, rough. Like, I think, what's his name? Psychic Pebbles had his like social security number read off by his friend. He's like, which I don't know why you would give your friend your social security card, but he was just like, so it's 574092959. Like, okay, thanks. I don't even know the first step in getting a new social security number.
That's what I used to be so afraid because I'm like, oh god, if anything leaks out, it's gonna come back to me. But now that I live on my own, I'm like, if someone calls the police on me, I'll have someone to come over and hang out with now. Come on over.
You pull the old grandma move, like, no one's happy to see you, hon. Come on in.
No one's happy to see you.
You're right.
I made cookies. It's not even cookies.
Three guys with the last name like Green, and the other 2 have the last name O'Brien, all in SWAT gear.
Thanks, ma'am.
This one's for Jim O'Brien. This one's for Johnny O'Brien. This one's for Jimbo O'Brien. They're just all named Jim because they're all Irish.
Oh boy, what are you doing in there, Wheatley?
That's the cat.
Are you attacking my fucking toiletry? What are you so worried about?
Do you have a tree with a toilet on it?
What are you so... It's me. I'm probably scared poopless for some reason. Alright, I'm back. Where were we? The 3 Irish police officers?
I do think that's funny. That's a very common stereotype, and it's 100% true. Like, any dude I've ever met in any government position, any state official, government position, fireman, policeman, it's just like, oh, what's your name? Yeah, mine's O. Flanagan Connor Brian Green.
Oh, that's a unique name you got there. We have 6 of those.
We got 6 of those. Oh, damn. Is there any applications? And all 19 of my brothers want to join, actually. Oh, right this way.
Oh,
why didn't you join sooner?
Fill out 1. You're all the same. All have the same name. We'll just pay under the table. I don't care who you are or who you work for. I'm not paying the taxes to the IRS. That meme's everywhere.
What?
Who is it? I think it's from a TV show, but it sounds like...
I know lots of dudes that just don't pay taxes, and I think it's fucking bananas. There's guys I've and they'll tell you, which I think is the funniest thing ever. They'll be like they're the people that don't pay their taxes are the same people that will not be afraid to tell you. They're you don't need to pay them, and it's I think you're lying. I think you do, and I think you're
gonna catch up to you.
They'll put you in a cage.
Yeah. they'll. I'm 57 and I haven't paid my taxes since I was a kid. And then the next day, I'm in jail for the rest of my life.
Yeah. If you overpay and go to H&R Block. I do it I'm an idiot. I'm too lazy to find a tax guy, and I'll just be like, hey, H&R Block, and they'll be like, that'll be $300. I'm like, I don't care. Just take it. I don't want to fuck this up.
Yeah, it's the whole tax situation is messed up. Apparently, the government can already do it, but the TurboTax and H&R Block's how about what if they did it and you guys paid us to do it? And the government's like, yeah, sure, whatever. God, but I know what you mean. I'm always afraid of messing up. So I'm like, what happens if I like underpay or overpay? Or am I gonna like the police gonna like bust down my door, SWAT gear in hand? Like, we heard there was a criminal housed in here. You overpaid by 13 cents. What kind of an asshole are you trying to fuck the government over? Either you pay it right now.
I've had to cash in stupid checks like that where it's like way like
you.
under $10, and they're like, "Yeah, you overpaid," and I'm like, "Okay." And do you want to roll over this 10 cents to next year? Sure, why not? But I've thought about doing that like shit where like you report people to the IRS.
You make money off of that.
I know. Well, so my car got towed not too long ago, and this guy like I went there, and it was like it was just like in a really shitty part of town, and like I'm talking to this dude, and it's just a horrible setup. Like, it was just like dirty, and like I'm talking to this guy behind like a plexiglass screen, and he's like smoking a cigarette, and he's like doing my paperwork. He's like, "Yeah, we towed it last night." I'm like, "I know." He's like, "Yeah, driver's license." I'm like, "Here it is." He's like, "Okay," like just like small talking to me, and I'm like, I'm trying to just stay cool because getting your car towed is the most infuriating thing ever because it's usually a situation you didn't understand. Yeah. So I'm like doing the paperwork, and I'm trying to just be nice. I actually ironically said, like, "No one ever is happy to see you, huh?" Like I'm just trying to be nice. Like, I'm like, "That sucks, man." Like, well, at least, like, I'm happy to see you. I try, like, doing something like that.
Yeah.
And, like, he's just like, "Oh, yeah, everyone hates seeing us." And then he, like, points to, like, a gun and, like, a pepper spray. He's like, "I hope somebody does something." And I'm like, he's like, "Have you ever pepper sprayed somebody? It's great." And I'm like, "No, you're just actually a dirtbag." Like I was like, I didn't tell him that because he had my car. But, like, I was like, "Yo, you're just f***ing." And then I tried paying him with my card. He's like, "We only take cash." I'm like, "Oh, so you're just keeping it. You're just stealing cars and keeping the money." That was a while ago, but, like, there was a part of me that's just like, "Oh, you like just stealing black people's cars in the hood and holding it ransom for $300? Like, I was, like, about to, like, I still think about it. That dude's a dirtbag. Because, like, there's people in line with me that were just like, how am I going to get to work to get the money to pay this? Like, it was just, like, it was horrible. Why are you parking in a place you can't park? It's because you don't have a place to park. Or, like, it's just something stupid. I'm not trying to get political here, but it was just, like, it was one of those things where I looked around and I'm like, I'm the only guy that's not sweating about paying this. Like, you know what I mean? It was just, like, a little infuriating where I'm like, this is inconveniencing my day. This is ruining people's, like...
Yeah, like that... 300 could like make or break someone's month.
Yeah,
and if you had like a credit card, you'd be like, okay, I can deal with this. But you're like, no, I need cash. It's like, well, there goes like the food fund.
Yeah.
Also, what also infuriates me is when they like damage the car while towing it. There's like a 50-50 chance that they like might up or be like, that's just the job, babe. You gotta deal with it.
Really? My car was already a show. I when I used to live in the place I did, is a very shitty neighborhood, like surrounded by bars. But like this is a couple years ago, and my car was already like bent to shit, and like I left it out in the street one night. Didn't get towed, but I like woke up to get McDonald's, and I'm like driving through the drive-thru, and I'm just like, my hood looks weird, and I realized there's just like footprints, and then my entire like someone jumped on my hood, just a bunch of times, and I was just like, huh, okay.
I was with a friend whose friend got towed, and as we were going to pick it up, they were like dropping off some other poor victim's car, and like it like ripped out like the under plastic thing. And they're like, "Oh shit, okay, whatever." And we're like, Jesus.
Was it a real tow truck they were using?
I think so. Yes.
These guys were using like Ford F-150s with a hitch.
Oh.
And they were just like dragging the cars out.
Jesus.
Like they weren't really. This was a very. These guys were like
scum of the earth.
Yeah, they were not. Because I remember, like I woke up at the place I lived at, and I'm like, oh damn, they're towing a bunch of cars, and like I'm just seeing people screaming, like just car alarms going off, screaming, people confronting them, and I'm just seeing this dude with his like ass hanging out of his basketball shorts, like hooking up these cars, checking the cars. I'm just like, fuck, dude. I originally thought someone was breaking into the cars. I'm like, shit. I'm like, I'm gonna go run outside. So they tow a bunch of cars, like 4 F-150s come in. They steal all 4 cars. I'm like, I'm gonna check if I'm parked in the right spot. I walk out. I walk all the way to my car. I'm like, huh, I guess I'm in the right spot. Like, go back to bed. I wake up. My car's gone. And I look in the space I was in. And, like, the sign that's like, your car's going to get towed. It was, like, right, like, tucked in the corner. I'm like, I was meant not to see that. And it hurt because, like, I went out and I was like, I'm going to go move my car. And I just I didn't.
Those moments are always, I'm going to go do this. And then you're like, I should have done that. Weeks from now. How did you even get your car back? Did you, like, leave a note somewhere, or do you just, like, keep calling around?
On the sign, it's like, here's our tow company, go get it.
Okay, because I usually thought, like, if you get your car towed, you're like, you have to, like, call, like, every tow company, like, hey, you have a car, blah, blah, blah.
There might be a situation, like, where they just tow your car and you have to just call around. But usually, like, for, like, in a scenario where, like, it's just, like, they're mandating, like, a street regulation, usually it's, like a type. Yeah, it says on the sign. But I don't even know where you'd start if someone calls up a tow company and be like, get this f***er out of here. I don't even know. It's just, that, gone.
It scares me. I'm like, if that happens to me, how do I, like, I'm like, I would just be like, okay, well, I don't have a car anymore. I'm done. I'm not calling anyone. You can have that car free of charge.
Like a couple months later, I sold that car for $400, $500 maybe. And, like, the front end was zip tied together. The lights were zip tied in place. The undercarriage, like this heat shield was zip tied in. And, like, I had 2 winter tires in the back with one with a pinhole leak and 2 summer tires in the front without hubcaps. The inside, I got mad once and I punched in the screen that was, like, the radio screen.
God.
And, like, at the time I was doing this like juice cleanse and I was just farting, so the whole interior just smelled like ass.
So I guess that 400, 600 was a steal.
Oh my god, yes. And, like, it wouldn't hold in alignment because I kept running into curbs and shit. It literally would just keep hanging left. This is, like, the car I learned to drive on. So, like, this is years of, like, previous me just around, like, you know, like, all that high school driving of, like,
oh God, I remember,
of around,
yeah.
like, it just screwed me up. And, like, as an adult, I'm driving around this hoopty, and when I took it in, the guy's like, I'll give you $500, and I'm like, sold. He's like, usually people, like, debate me. I'm like, you're gonna find, like, there's no spare tire, the toolkit in the back's gone, it's zip tied together, you're gonna find more. And he's like, okay.
No, he was fine with it too.
Yeah, like, and the other 2 tires that have the shit blown out of it, they're on the back too. Because I had to replace 2 of the tires. Yeah. So, the week before I sold it, my dad hit a deer.
With it?
He was like, it was one of those things where, like, in my mind, I'm like, I shouldn't let him borrow my car. Fuck it. And it was just like, he comes back, he's like, your car's He, like, hit the deer, like it just jumped out in front of him, and, like,
he's telling, like, this grand story, but, like, in his eyes, he's like, oh, a deer. He just swerves to the left. It came out of nowhere.
Where's the insurance card on this thing?
Why are the police here? Why does it say there's tracks going to the park with your car's tire on it? I thought you said it jumped out of nowhere. Oh, yeah,
we're eating good tonight. Just making venison in my living room. This will come out of the shag carpet.
I know a cleaner. You should break out a vacuum.
It's me.
It's me. I know a guy.
It's me.
Carpet's fucked. I'll have to call someone else.
Just cuts out the carpet. Just a piece of wood underneath.
Oh. There's a guy on TikTok who fixes carpet like that, and it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, there's a burn mark someone left their iron on, and it burnt the carpet to high hell. Watch this, and he cuts it out.
And replaces.
He matches it kind of correctly, puts it in. He does, like, all this crazy stuff, and he, like, fluffs it up and colors it a bit, and then does more magic, and then, like, does a final pass. Looks like it was never
it's
cut
just
off.
a different spot of the carpet.
There's a different pattern on here. I mean, it looks great. It's stunning, but
in the background you see this, like, piece of shit, like, in the back it's just like a big square. As you see, this is a 1984 shag carpet by the company Williams. They do not make carpet anymore, so I could not find the replacement.
I have found the next best thing, which is felt.
So when you replace a hole in a wall, or when you fix a hole in a wall, you put a picture frame. We're gonna do the exact same thing here.
Puts a picture frame on the floor.
No one's ever gonna notice.
It's a centerpiece now. Just talk about it. Hey, why
you
is
like
there a
modern
picture
art?
on the floor? Do you like modern art? God damn.
This is a robust rug from 1984, and you know what? This person smoked at least 3 packs a day for the past 59 years.
I'm gonna have a picture frame. Totally irrelevant, but it really brings it together, don't you say?
I was thinking like he like replaces the carpet. He's like, I'm gonna have to smoke for 59 years and get lung cancer and die, but this rug is gonna match.
Home improvement channels. This man smoked for 59 years. We just replaced his carpet, but we want to break it in for him. So we hired 1,300 men to chain smoke for 24 hours, and just all the walls are just dripping with tar. It's like, and now the carpet. It's like we never replaced it, but it's brand new.
It's a bunch of dudes on their hands and knees just chain smoking, breathing into the carpet. I used to be really into like crust punk and all that dumb crap. Like it's a fun style of music, but I'm like way over it. But as a teenager, I'm just like, I can't wait to have a house I can smoke in. What was I thinking?
It's
I can't wait to
stupid.
smoke in my car.
We've done it too, because
Yeah.
when my apartment, my roommate just like chain smoked, and we were allowed to by the landlord.
I smoke a cigar now every now and then.
But like it's like once you like get to the habit of it, and then you stop for like a month, you come back and you're like, wow, this place f***ing reeks, and like sometimes the wallpaper changes, and then you're like, why would I think I could smoke in a house? It's gonna ruin everything.
Have you ever bought a used SNES and seen that it's yellow?
God, yes, it's disgusting.
There's so much like that. Like, I've worked in a lot of apartments, and I've seen how gross people live.
I've also seen it firsthand because I used to be like conscious of like what I was doing, so I'd put like a fan through a window, and I would use that for multiple months. Well, then I'm like, maybe I should clean out the fan because it's probably got gunk on it. I take off the thing, it's just like smothered with tar. I'm like, that's absolutely disgusting. That's all me. That's absolutely disgusting. And like that's everywhere too now. I mean, you just don't think about it until it's too late.
It can get coated on the walls too. It's crazy. The same thing happens with candles. We burn a bunch of candles.
That I kind of knew, but not like
it gets on your fan blades. It gets on your ceiling. We haven't done a podcast since like 2018, and now we're talking about like how to take care of your house. Damn, I burned too many candles, and it's just ruining my place.
Well, that's the evolution of us.
We're like Howard Stern. How everyone hates Howard Stern now. Because like he used to be like, I'm going to talk about pussy with 29 strippers, and they're all going to be on vibrating seats. But now he's like, the situation in Iraq is actually pretty crazy. We're going to bring in a political analyst, and everyone's just like, go back to talking about pussy.
Well, to counter that, Matthew 3:16 from the Bible. Shut up.
Actually, I have a lot of friends that were in, was it the ministry?
That's for like the church, right?
Yeah, like going to school for becoming a priest. There's a lot of shit that like it's stories from the Bible, but like we all know like the distilled version. Like I grew up Catholic, but I'm not I'm not religious now. It's bananas. Like I was talking to a guy that like almost became a priest and got married to another friend of mine. So like I just brought it up that like I grew up Catholic, and I was like, oh yeah, I know, like I kind of understand the Bible. He's like, no, you don't. He's like, do you know what my favorite story is? Oh, what? He's like, Jesus is a kid, and he gets into a fight with like a dude in the street, like a verbal confrontation, and he just disintegrates him. Like, he's just like, excuse me?
Yeah, it's honestly insane because...
Do you know what angels look like in the Bible?
They're terrifying.
Yeah,
so
they're eye creatures.
The game Bayonetta accurately depicts angels. It's I won't say, I mean, I don't know accurately, but like people think of angels as like this angelic being. They're like, oh my god, she's beautiful, or he's beautiful. But in fact, they're like these fucking nightmarish creatures that are like scare the shit out of you. They look like out of a horror movie.
It's like 29 eyes, yeah. There's an eye thing with what was it? Kirby's Dream World or whatever. It's like the last boss battle.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's terrifying.
I never touched Reddit until this year, until quarantine, and my friend turned me on to just like, hey, you should check out like any Reddit that people can get like a little too into. Like he's just like, me and a buddy got into looking at r/stims, stimulants, and it's just like guys being like, I love stimulants, cocaine, meth. Yeah, it's great. It's helping me with my sexual identity, and like all the comments every time are like, wow, man, that's great. I'm so happy for you. You should probably stop though. That's really bad for you. Like stimulants are great. I love cocaine, but like you really gotta chill out there, buddy. Like it's just like I've gone down rabbit holes of like clicking through people's accounts where it's just like twink butthole gaper 395, and he's like, I love coke and it's really helping me out. And you're just like scrolling through his stories of like gaping my butthole's ruining my life, and like this is like loosely based on like a guy I was like looking through his like Reddit account going like, oh my god, these people exist. Like
it's
like also like laughing and feeling bad for him at the same time. Like, oh my god,
it's insane.
I think r/like addicted to the needle. Like it's just people talk about heroin. It's just like like
some of these like subreddits are just like sad and like
shooting up a goofball before work. They call them goofballs, I think. It's like, what? Excuse me?
It's just like
or
insane to me.
I kind of like I don't do it much anymore, but I used to love like just scrolling because it's just like a guy posting a picture of like a needle full of heroin, and he's just like this is the life, and like you read the first comment, it's him. He's just like, not really. Like it's like what is going on?
What is happening here?
Or there, I think it was like r/like it was something that had to allude to like doing meth, and it's just like people doing like they look like bong rips of just meth, and they're like about to go to work, and it's like it's like it's usually like the people that were posting stuff like that like had like OnlyFans or like they were like maybe like an entertainer and like the stripping sense. Like it was just like, oh, but they're like just like doing meth like it's just like a bong rip, and they're like, oh, it's nothing, it's great. And it's like, and then in the comments they're all just like, it's amazing, you should probably like find some help. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world, you should probably get some help.
Yeah, some of these subreddits are just insane. And they're all like that too. Like, yeah, it's pretty great, but maybe tone it down a bit. I mean, I love it myself, but you're like, whew, sheesh, as the kids say. Stop.
As the kids say, stop.
Please seek help. I mean, hell yeah, brother, but like, it's hell yeah. There's no stop.
I've been having some trouble finding anything close to that, like. Because I don't want to read sad drug shit, but like I would love to find like other like communities where it's just like, I'm in love with this thing, I've spent so many dollars. Or maybe like I could look into like r/gambling or something. That might be the next one.
That might be it.
My next like hour-long obsession where I'm just like, this is making me sad now.
The one I love is male living spaces.
Excuse me? Oh, like just like a mattress on the floor.
But not, I mean, sometimes there are posters like that, but it's like apartments or homes, and it's just set up wonderfully, and you just get like a nice serotonin boost. You're like, wow, that actually, I want to make something that looks like that in my own place. And it's fantastic to get like everything looks correct, painted correctly, and everyone's like, yeah, that's great, and there's people like, this is my setup, and it's just a mattress on the floor, a TV like on the floor too, and that's it. That's how I started off first.
That's probably like I'm gonna move out sometime soon. I'm thinking, or move into a new space, because like I've bounced around like living with people, living without people, and I'd like to actually own my own spot, and like it'd be cool to like actually like I've never been able to own my own space as like my own.
Yeah.
And I'd like to actually do that.
It's great. I mean, I've done that 3 times, 2 with a roommate, now on my own. It's fun because you do whatever you want. You can go out at 3 a.m. to go do something, or go poop at 5 a.m. and you're not bothering anyone. You're just in your own space, pooping freely with the door. You can poop with the door open now. I've done that. It was great.
I like it.
I stopped doing that.
Even at home, I'll lock it. I have lived with people that poop with the door open. It was just like you're just like walking. It's like, don't look at me. Oh, sorry.
Those people have massive balls, because if someone's remotely near the room, I'm door's closed. No one's gonna see me poop.
I've traveled with people, like shared a hotel traveling, and people just poop with the door. Like I've traveled with people that poop with the door open, and then don't care that you're pooping with the door open. Like frat dudes that like the frat house had like 9 toilets or whatever, and none of them had like dividers, so they're just used to pooping.
Dear God.
I went golfing with a dude recently that was just like, in golf, you're supposed to, at least as I understand it, I could be wrong, you're supposed to like discreetly like go off to the side and pee if you're drinking. You know, like try to make yourself not know.
Did he have the golf club where you just like you have like a little loincloth and you like stick your dick in the golf club and you start peeing? You're like, oh, I'm peeing up. That's all. And you're like, oh,
I'm peeing up.
I'm peeing up. Are you peeing in that golf club? No. Oh, okay.
Just
and they, why'd you put the golf club back? Oh, wrong club. You hear sloshing and you're like, wrong golf club.
It's glass. You go to tee off and it explodes. There's glass and piss everywhere.
Speaking of that, there's a company.
Excuse me?
It has to do with the glass, not the piss. But there's a company on TikTok, and they're like, people love our glasses. Look, people always ask us about our glass cups. Are they indestructible? And the guy goes, no. And then some company did, that's not real. They did it in reverse. So the company replied back, and it's just the smashed glass, and comes back in the guy's hand. He's like, you caught us.
That's good. I like that.
Oh my God!
There's like a point, like there's a small window of time where like companies started getting funny, like on Twitter, and started getting a little waggy, and then they just stopped. It's like, yeah, we're gonna get canceled or something. No, thank you.
Yeah, that was like the Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's started it.
Wendy's was like just roasting everyone. It was getting like at a peak, and then it peaked a bit, and then went down slowly, and then like it just fell off.
Wendy's was just like pulling all the strings. They're like, yeah, Game Grumps, hell yeah.
God, I forgot how intertwined Wendy's was with like everything.
Yeah, and they're just like Rick and Morty, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then like I actually, that being said, I haven't had Twitter in so long, but like they're just like, yeah, we'll interact with anybody.
And now they're just like, hey, we have a 4 for 4 now with spicy nuggets, haha. And then the comments are like, roast me, and then they're like, oh, so we have a new 4 for 4 also. Here we go. And it's like, oh my God. Sonic's Twitter used to be like that too. It kind of still is. They still post memes, but not as.
Well, corporate probably was like, wait a minute. Like they're just like, wait a minute, tone it back.
Times are changing. No more funny memes.
Yeah.
That's the internet. Everything just happens so fast. So much stuff. God. It's like, oh, something.
You know how like our grandparents are just like, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand the internet. And like you're trying to explain something very simple like Instagram, and they're just like, can you send me it through? I don't even understand texts. Just show me it on your phone. My grandparents,
yeah.
I'm like begging them. I might have to have a talk with them because like, it's just like, actually, I've talked to like a professional about this, and I'm just like, hey man, like I was just talking to like a shrink, and I was just like, hey man, my grandparents won't get off of Facebook, and like they're just absorbing fake shit, and then they're just like getting like they're not happy, and like this person told me, no, that's happening with everybody. Like it's just like he's like I have like 29 clients, and they're all telling me that their grandparents are going bananas on Facebook. I'm just like you know, like it's just like I think I need to just talk to them and be like, dude, can you like stop using this platform? I'll come and visit you more if that's really what you're worried about. Yes. My friends are on Facebook. Go visit your friends. Like,
yeah, that's what my dad told me. He's like, I keep reading the news on the internet, and I keep getting angry, so I just stop.
My grandparents will go, okay, 1 year we're Apple phones, 1 year Android. Apple, so which makes it worse. Because Apple and Android are fine in their own right as long as you feel like you have to buy into that ecosystem. Mm-hmm. I'm a part of the Google ecosystem. Everything works, everything syncs, everything works. My grandparents are like, I have a Dell computer and an Apple phone, and every time I plug it in, it breaks. And I'm like, just get an Apple computer. If you want Apple, just get a Google. Just Google
make it easier on yourself, and like buy the same thing.
And like I'll go over their house and they'll be like, oh damn, the Wi-Fi password, we forgot it, and they like changed it. I'm like, well, I don't know what you came up with on a whim.
It's like that angers me.
I need to do the homework because you can log into a router Like, you know what I mean? You can log into the Wi-Fi, you can log into the router. And you can block things from the router. I want to block Facebook from the router.
I have what's called a pie hole on my network, and that allows me to...
Shut your pie hole.
Shut your pie hole. That allows me to block ads.
That's cool.
So, like, anything that touches my internet gets, like, any, like, trackers or anything remotely, like, not...
Kosher.
Just gets blocked. So if I, like, add my Switch, if it's, like, using some kind of tracking parameter to track something on my game or an online service, it cuts it right off.
You get Stravi's try to start running, and it's just like, you ran 0 miles today.
Oh, thank you. But you can also use that to, like, block Facebook and whatnot. I also have a router that does that too. And the router is like a, kind of, I would say like a next-gen router where you can't log into it through your computer, like type an IP address. You actually have to have an app and, punch in your stuff.
I want to get, like, jitterbug phones for so many people. Just like, here you go. You could text all your friends. You could call all your friends. And then you just can't do anything else and stop giving your information to everybody.
That's another good thing about iPhones is there's an option easily accessible to block unknown callers. So, like, if a random number calls, like, my grandma, it will just block it straight away, so she can't pick it up. Like, oh, hey, hello, you've won $1. Give us your number, social security, maiden name, everything, please. Oh, I love dollars. Oh, here you go. Thank you.
Emails are the worst, man. Because, like, I've gotten emails from, like, credit card companies where it's just like, oh, Capital One, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And then I, like, wait a minute. And I'll call up Capital One, like, you guys didn't just send me an email, did you? And they're like, nope, we didn't. I'm like, ha. And I just don't pay the $20 million I owe.
God, the emails are getting... It's just...
You missed a payment.
It's insane. One almost got me one time, but I'm like...
You're too smart.
When you hover over their name, it usually tells you their full email address.
Capital One.
Capital One XB at xyz.net. And you're like, that's not real. I don't know how that got past my junk folder, but that ain't real. I'll delete it. If it comes back, I'll call about it. But I'm pretty certain this is false.
Yeah. Dude, why is my credit going down? You denied our call from XY. That's my name. Look at the caller ID on the phone. Jesus. I'm sorry, Mr. Wow. XYZ.net.com.
We'd appreciate it if you answer our phone calls next time. I thought you were a scammer. Not everyone's a scammer.
I get that a lot.
That's
my birth name. My loving mother.
My parents, my loving mother, named me 6 different emojis.
My mother, that lovely woman that gave birth to me, gave me that name.
Rude, absolute people.
When my mother gave birth after having sat in that hospital, pushing me out for 12 hours, she said, they're like, excuse me, ma'am, I know you've taken 90 milligrams of morphine in the past 20 minutes. Can you name your kids? And she went, because she was having a seizure. That was my name. And
by God, do I love it.
I love it.
And you're being an asshole for saying I'm a scammer. To shame. Shame. I'm disgusted.
I want to work in an office really bad, to be quite honest.
Office jobs are...
Just make small talk. Like, go from, like, I love this place to hating the people within 6 months. And, like, hating not just, like, the people as, like, I don't like the way they look.
Yeah.
Like, John has a dumb haircut. But, like, more, like, John eats his food a very certain way. And I hate it. Like people, like, at offices, like, hate the very individual characteristics of the other people. And I love it. Like, maybe you have, like, also offices, like, hone that, like, hey, when we get off, we're going drinking. Like, I love that too, as well as, like, yeah, Deborah's a bitch. I hate her. Like you just, like, really get into hating, like, the person that works 2 feet from you, separated by a particle board wall.
The worst part is when people steal your food. I had that at my old job. People... Oh, I have so many stories.
Really? Did you start making, like funny food that they would steal?
No, I didn't. I was going to do laxatives, but then it's poisoning someone because the whole shindig about whatever. I was thinking about doing it, but then I researched it. And no, don't do it because it's poisoning, and then you can get sued and go into trouble. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But
well, that's why you put a disclaimer. It's like
it's still poisoning.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew a guy that like put like well, that's what you gotta do food. Like I knew a guy that put mayonnaise and like cream filled donuts.
If you say like I have a medical exemption and like I need laxatives, here is this. They ate my food and now they can't stop shitting. It's not my fault. Then you can. You most likely can get away with it because it's your food and you have a medical condition. But if you're like, oh, I put laxatives because he was eating my food, you're like, no, you're fucked, kid. But
that'd be a really funny way to be put away in like jail.
I murdered 6 kids. What'd you get put in for? I made a person shit. Oh, okay.
Damn.
He's hardcore. Can I get put in another cell, please? I don't want to shit. Help! Like, I don't understand. Why would you steal someone's food out of the fridge?
Some people are weird, man. And, like, there's daywalkers among us that, like... So, think about this. Sending unsolicited pics is so common that, like, every woman you know has talked about it. There are daywalkers among us, other men that you talk to, and you're like, yeah, like you know, Bob's a nice enough guy. Like, he seems like a normal dude. No, he's sending pictures of his schlong to people that he met, like, 20 minutes ago. And like you know, like there's people that you know.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand these people.
I get it. I'll be all right, and I say I get it. Like it's you know, like when you were a kid and you had like it's like a tube and you look through it and like it makes like a colorful design and then you flip it around and you can't really see anything.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Kaleidoscope.
It's like a kaleidoscope. The women end, like that's like the lens end, and you're like, what is this? Like a black like lens? I don't see anything. Why would you send a picture of your to me? You look on the other end, it's like, I got a nice I can make her see it now. Like, maybe that might work. It's worked for other people. Like, I kind of, like, see the reasoning, even though it's and wrong. Like, I guess like, that's how I see it. It's like, wow, this is borderline, like harassment, sexual harassment behavior. And on the other end, it's just like, maybe she'll invite me over if I show her my big schlong.
Yeah, it's
like it's worked enough that like that's the reason people do it. Like if it was 100% like oh, every time you'll never get laid if you send your schlong, like that makes sense.
Yeah,
but like as a person who's never done it, I don't understand like the principle.
I don't understand unsolicited either. It's just I can understand that part. It's like, well, what if it works? But then like, why not, you know, work towards something and then like, oh, hey, we connected, and like, hey, now you can be free to send as much as you want instead of like, hey, you want to see it? Too bad, send.
I've heard so many tales of like, hey, want to see a picture of my dick? No, too late.
It's sorry, hit send.
Yeah, like I know people that have like back when flip phones were a thing and like the loading process was a while, like within 5 minutes. Like when you have the sliders. I knew somebody that, like, she got a dick pic and, like, she said no too late. Like, it was just, like, and it's already gone. Like, it's like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Sorry.
There's someone online who would take unsolicited dick pics and just draw on them.
Yeah, I love it.
And then send them back.
Yeah. No, I know lots of girls that do that. I also know girls that would collect them like baseball cards and show them off. And that's why, from a young age, I saw that and I was like, I'm not doing that shit. Like
I'm happy I never did that as a kid, and I still haven't.
Like as an adult too, like yeah, like,
it's like once you put something out there, it's probably going to stay out there forever.
Yeah.
So
I would like to know, like that'd be you know how like it's like a human, like the average human drinks this much coffee, and here's how much it would weigh. I would like to see the physical representation of every pic on the internet and how much that would be. How tall would that be in flash drives? In Best Buy 1 gigabyte flash drives, how much would that be? Like, I want to see it. Not the dicks. I want to see the sheer amount of storage. Like it
can go to the moon and back 7 times. That's how many dick pics are on these flash drives. It's the size of a thumb. Damn, that's a lot. Yeah. Is my cat over there? Is he still hiding in the bathroom?
He's still hiding. Honestly, I find that to be a very funny topic. Like, it's unsolicited pics and dick pics in general. Like that. Like that's because I've been with like people. It's just like, oh, like, damn, I'm driving. Can you check my phone real quick? And you'll just see, like, be careful with that snap. And it's just like Larry and David and John and Beth, they all sent you nudes, just so you know. Yeah, I get them all the time. Okay. For better or for worse, I never got any, like, unsolicited things. But also, I'm a man.
I got one once.
Really?
It was,
Well, ooh.
She was like, oh, I'm so horny. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, I'm usually wholesome with like anyone I meet. I'm respectful and I never go past any boundaries.
Well, I understand.
And then this one day, just bloop, 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 bloop. I'm like, I did not ask for these. I mean,
thanks.
This is my first time ever receiving a nude photo. I'm like, okay. And I didn't send anything back. I'm just like, okay. I just closed it.
Yeah. Also, like, I look like Sasquatch. Like, when like, naked, like, it's not good. No, thank you.
If I ever do anything like that, I'm dressing up. I'm gonna be like put like a bow tie on it and be like doing like cool pose.
A three penis suit.
3-penis suit. Have nipple tassels. Get a photo shoot going on. Make like the world's most elaborate.
I'll send her a nude calendar.
Can you send me a nude photo?
Hey babe, I
check your mailbox. What?
With 3 easy payments of $99.99.
Oh, wow.
I send her a catalog. It's just like with 3 easy payments of $39.99.
You can unlock the rest.
You could. She has to like do the full effort of like tearing it out, writing her info, getting a blank check, writing that out, putting it in, choosing which ones, tearing that part of the magazine out. Like, I want the August version, the Christmas. I want these photos.
Oh, sorry. We ran out of Christmas. You have to pick another one. What do you mean? Who else are you giving to him?
The Kwanzaa nudes. Those are always in stock.
Those don't sell.
I would actually like
much.
to learn about Kwanzaa. I know nothing about it.
Neither do I. It's
like... Don't know.
It's same here. There's a lot of holidays I don't know about that I would like to.
I don't know why we keep bringing up religion. I know somebody, like, recently. I met them, and they he was an older dude, and, like, he was just like, you religious? Like, I don't really talk about religion with people too much. Well, I'm not. Well, cool, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I just didn't know where the conversation was going, and, like, just long pause. He's just like, my mom, she's she's Jehovah's Witness. My dad, he's Catholic. I'm like, okay, dude, cool. He's like, my dad celebrated my birthday. My mom did. I'm like, oh, that's a crazy way to get divorced. He's like, no, they're still together. I'm like, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, that's Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays. I met a kid in middle school who was like, oh yeah, I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
Well, I think it's funny because like a lot of them get just coincidental gifts around their birthday. Like that, like his mom will call him up, not say happy birthday, and be like, love you, bye. on his birthday.
That's just a weird thing. Some religions do things. Others find it weird.
I love it.
See you guys in another 3 years. Welcome to our annual reboot.
Yeah.
And
we already did one last year.
Yeah.
And we did one the year before.
Yeah.
And we did one the year before that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this little taste. Like we like the first part of the podcast always starts off with us getting back on our feet, kind of getting back into the groove of like just like ranting and coming up with jokes, and then like once we get comfortable with it, we're like, that's too much for me.
We're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
2 men, get ready and just fuck right off for the next 3 years. Wash my hands. My hands are sweaty.
Yeah, mine are too.
Well, I have Dawn soap.
No, I'm just rubbing it on
Ever since you told me Dawn soap is the king soap.
I didn't.
Yeah, you're like, oh, we were talking about like poison ivy.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah, Dawn soap really helps with this. I'm like, oh okay, and then I started just using it religiously. Dawn soap every day.
I love Gojo.
Doja?
Gojo.
Dojo?
Gojo.
What kind of soap is that?
It's soap with sand in it. It just really cleans your hands.
Soap with sand, bitch. Just take some Dawn to the beach.